Good evening, everyone. The Sacramento City Council will come to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, we'll start with Member Ashby. Here. Warren. Harris. Here. Hanson. Here. Chenier. Here. Guerra. Jennings. Here. Carr. Here. And Mayor Steinberg.
Here, and I know Councilmember Guerra is on his way. We would like to begin tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we would like the West Campus High School girls basketball team, who I will introduce with more aplomb in a moment, to please rise and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Seniors in the middle. Does everybody know it?
Ready? Begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay up where you are at, because it is not just the West Campus High School girls basketball team. It is the West Campus Warriors, D4 state champions for 2017. So, you know, there are a lot of teams in this area that would be, including some of the professional teams, that would be very envious of what you have done. In 5 games in the CIF playoffs, you guys averaged 66 points, holding opponents to mere 41 points. You beat the #1 seed Los Osos from the South 63-53 to win the state championship. That is a big deal. We're so proud of you. So, along with great athletic achievement is great academic achievement, because your team GPA is 3.7. Let's give it up for that. 5 seniors will graduate and attend college on basketball scholarships. Your season record was 31-4. So I hope I don't leave anybody out here, but I have a list of names, and I just think you should all be recognized individually, because your city is so proud of you. We're very proud of you for what you did on the court, but what you do in the classroom and what you do in the community and what you're going to continue to do as young adults. So congratulations to head coach John Langston and his coaching staff, Kyle Allen, April Corcoran, Cloyce Dickerson, Emlyn DeSimmons, and Thomas Barnett. Give them a big hand here, coaches. Takes great, committed adults to help young people achieve, and the athletes. Deja Cox, Kiara Jefferson, Gabriela Rones, Antonia Sanchez, Alexandra Dent, Namiko Adams, Jacelyn Brown, Juliana Edinburgh, Rashida Larry Dobson-Myers, Isa Munoz, Cecilia Cole Chico, Liliana Marquez, Nia Johnson, Alexis Terrell, Iris Ziong, Nadia Johnson. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce everybody's name exactly correctly. I might have missed a few, but I tried, and that's part of the point. My GPA was not 3.7. So, Councilmember Guerra, I know these are young athletes from your district, and that you might want to say a few words. I know you just got here a second ago, so take a breath.
First of all, I live off of, here we go. First of all, I live off of 58th Street. So when I got to say that I am so proud to see a lot of you who are walking and going out there to school today. So first of all, I'd love to have everyone give a big round of applause to all my neighbors here who are the state champions for CIF. So, and I think the biggest key thing here is you could just look at the faces and the diversity and what our community looks like. More importantly, it wasn't just the fact that they showed up, Los Osos, and beat them here at the state level. It wasn't just the fact that they were averaging some major points and beating their teams by over 20 points through all the games. It's the fact that while they're doing this, their commitment to athletics, their commitment to their friends and neighbors, they're maintaining above a 3.7 GPA, an average. They are also committed to education. They're committed to their future, and knowing that it isn't a trade-off, that it's either athletics or education, that you could do both. And I think what we see here today is you guys are inspirations to everyone who says, hey, I do like athletics and I don't want it to get in front of my education. You have said here today that you could do both. You could do whatever you want regardless of the challenges. Against all odds, Little West Campus on 58th Street by Stockton Boulevard taking on the state of California. Congratulations.
A number of members that want to add their congratulations to you. Councilmember Ashby.
You didn't think you were going to bring this many powerful young ladies into the room and I wouldn't say anything, right? That's my favorite. Congratulations, ladies. Good work. Couple things. One, I love powerful young ladies who go after it. I don't care if it's basketball or cheerleading or grades or high school or jobs, but you guys are doing it. Whatever that dream is that you put out in front of yourself, and I hope you really stick with that. All those things that you're learning right now, they apply later, whether it's law school or being a mom or running for a city council seat or being a doctor or being a business owner. It's the exact same things, all the skill set that you just learned. It's exactly transferable. That never give up. You know how you're like really tired, don't want to do one more single practice, but you're like, I'm gonna do it. Well, that parlayed into points for you in basketball. It will parlay into jobs and career moves and stuff for you in the future. Another thing I love, cheerleaders. I love that the ladies are cheering on the ladies. That is so awesome. Please try to keep that. A big deal. All through life, right? I mean, we've got to stick up for each other, got to stand up for each other, got to lift each other up. Too easy to knock each other down, too easy to find fault in somebody. That's easy, let the rookies do that, right? We want to lift each other up because that is how we help everyone climb up. We all get to be taller if we all push up, right? If we're pushing down, we're all going the wrong direction. So keep that up. So proud of you. And I will tell you the same thing that I always say when we talk about the Kings. In the city of Sacramento, there is exactly one team that has brought a championship ring at a professional level to this city. You know who they are? The Monarchs, the women, right? So keep going, ladies. I am very proud of you. Good job.
Thank you, Council Member. Vice Mayor Jennings, who knows a thing or two about championships.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to watch you perform at every level going through the playoffs. And one team, I had the privilege of watching you score 60 points and they scored 18. Like that was a total embarrassment for that team, but you guys let up on them and you could have scored 90, but you kept it at 68. I want the 5 seniors, if you will, to come to the microphone, if the 5 seniors will come, because I know that some of you will make an important decision as to whether to keep playing basketball and or to going to school. And I know some of you want to go to school to be something very important. And I'd like you to just tell the school that you're thinking about and the career that you're headed towards. Introduce yourself and do school that you're thinking about going to and the career that you're thinking about entering.
I'll go first. My name is Anthony Sanchez, senior at West Campus. I plan to go to nursing in the medical field, and my decision for college, I'm undecided so far.
Okay.
My name is Nadia Johnson, and I also want to be like a doctor, like a surgeon, and I'm undecided too.
Okay.
My name is Iris, and I'll be graduating this year, and I'm still deciding between the University of the Pacific and Sac State, and I'd like to major in pharmacy.
We have a couple of here on the council that would love for you to go to Sac State.
Go Hornets.
I'm Alex Dent. I'm currently a senior, and I'm undecided on where I want to go, but I want to major in biology because I want to be an oncologist.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Name's Namiko Adams, class of 2017. I'm a senior. I'm undecided on which college I want to go to, but I do want to major in sports management.
Fantastic. Give them a round of applause, please. And to the coaches, Coach Langston and all your other coaches, you really have developed the true definition of a student athlete. And it shows that you're not only good at the books, but you're good on the court as well. And so my tribute goes on to you and all the coaching staff for making sure they understand the importance of a great educational. So a round of applause to you as well. And then my final round of applause will be to all the parents who are here in support of their kids, who went to every single game and watched them. Would you please stand, please? So congratulations, you have established history as the first team at West Campus to win a state championship. That is history in the Sacramento City Unified School District. Your names will be forever marked in the book of history, and something that you'll be able to share with your kids and grandkids, and you'll enjoy that for the rest of your life. Congratulations from all of us.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. Councilmember Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to take a few minutes to say, ladies, congratulations on a job well done. I went to Grant High School, and so when I was in high school, West Campus was Johnson High School, and we used to have some historic battles with Johnson. Always produced some top talented basketball and baseball players, and since the conversion to West Campus, I mean, it's really been noted for its academics, you know, and so all of you that, in fact, all of you have to be doing a tremendous job to have an average of 3.7 or better, so that is outstanding, you know, and I would say to you, when you can mix the best of academia with playing high-level sports, it doesn't get much better than that. So, ladies, you have accomplished something that very few have been able to do. And two of your coaches, your head coach and Brother Langston and Cloyce Dickinson are good friends of mine as well. So I want you guys to give me a wink if they're really good coaches. Do you think they're good coaches? Are they good coaches? So, you know, you know, when you win, you know, and you build family and friendships that'll last a lifetime. And so these moments, ladies, please cherish them, because you will remember this for the rest of your lives, and some of the friends and the experiences that you had, you will never forget them. So congratulations to the coaches, Johnny and Cloyce, and the rest of the parents and coaches for leading these women on a tremendous journey. So congratulations.
Member Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Say, listen, my daughter's 12 years old, and she just finished her first year of basketball in 6th grade. I think we're going to have to review your tapes and check out your playbook, because we've got something to learn. I don't know if any of you ever thought that you'd be a role model, but you are. So think about that. You know, there are younger girls who look up to your achievement and find it to be something very special. So I thank you very much and congratulate you.
Thank you, Jeff. Councilmember Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, congratulations. You brought home a title, and I think you deserve the appreciation of that. We were close to 2 titles last week, and I think you all know McClatchy women's basketball, the Lions, they came up just short. But they did bring home the first ever Sac City Unified title in 2015 for Division I. So I am very proud of you. Next year, though, I want to see McClatchy and West Campus both bring home titles in girls basketball. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Councilmember Carr.
Well, this is awesome. I hope you realize what you have done. You have won the state championship of California. This is the largest state in the Union, the 6th largest economy in the world, and you competed against all of them, and you won. And that's awesome, as well as keeping your grades up. Thinking back on my high school days, I remember how happy I was when we scored a touchdown. We didn't even come close to winning the game, but we did score one touchdown, and the exhilaration of that still lives with me. The thing I think about my sporting career is the first time I went out for football, there must have been 100 people out there. I bet there were 50 out there for the first tryout. Was it, John? There were a lot of people trying out, and you look at all the competition, and you say, how am I going to be better than all of these people? Well, what you have to do and what you did is you stick to it. You stick to it. You showed up. You kept showing up. And all those girls, some of them may have been faster than you, some of them had a better shot, some of them could jump, but they didn't keep showing up. And that's what's going to take you to success in life. Keep showing up. You know you can do it. You've overcome one of the biggest obstacles you can overcome, and you succeeded. You're going to keep doing that for the rest of your life. Just remember that first day, that what the competition was like, and when you face those hurdles in your life, keep showing up. Congratulations.
Thank you. Councilmember Chenier.
Thanks, Mayor. I just want to add my congratulations. I actually think there's another team in town that you could give some direction to about winning and moving forward. So we'll have to contact them and let them know. But you guys make us all proud, and hope you savor this moment and just continue to build on it. And we look forward to working with you, and we look at you as the leaders of this city as we move forward. So thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay. I want to make sure we also thank the cheerleaders, the parents, and all the supporters of the team as well, because, you know, it takes all that support right from your community to have achieved what you achieved, and you guys all played a big part in it too, so congratulations to you. Councilmember Guerra.
Mr. Mayor, you know, it would be an honor to have our young ladies from the cheer squad from District 6 to do a cheer for the champions here right on live TV. So, cheerleaders, you want to do a cheer for the champions here?
Where's the camera? Oh, I need you, Birdie. Why are we?
All right, so we're going to do a cheer tonight, and we need all of you guys to help us out, so please follow along and try to help us out the best you can. In the front. People in the front, let me hear you grunt. People in between, let me hear you scream. Woo! People in the back, show us where it's at. Right here, people in the stands, stand up and clap your hands. People in the front, let me hear you grunt. People in between, let me hear you sing. Woo! People in the back, show us where it's at. Right here, people in the stands, stand up and clap your hands. One, two.
Well,
That was so
I think that's the way we should start every city council.
Exactly. Coach Langston and Principal Rodriguez and Mr. Mayor, if we could all join, if you could join me down in the front for a quick photo, and we will try to look at some way of public recognition in the neighborhood. Everyone's proud of you, whether it's a parade or a community event. We're going to out there make sure that our whole community knows of this great success. So, Mr. Mayor and Coach Langston and Principal Rodriguez. We'll go right up here.
Oh, the whole team.
but I was also an athlete.
We gotta get in this picture. He's state champion.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Doesn't happen very often. Eric feels pretty tall.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
He's still flashing.
Last one. Got it.
Oh, yeah. It'll come to me. Great job.
Hey, fantastic. Fantastic. Get out. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Why don't we wait just a moment while the celebration continues in the lobby. We have a couple presentations. I'm going to get to the summer at City Hall in just a moment and the other presentation, but I wanted to invite this evening and thank Barry Broad, who is a longtime friend, but even more important than that is the chair of the State Employment Training Panel. Because it was Barry and his executive staff and members of the board that did something unprecedented. They allotted $920,000 of money that is intended and usually goes to young adults ages 18 to 24 who need employment training and assistance. And they agreed to our request to move that money upstream and provide those resources to allow us to hire hundreds of high school students in real workplace job experiences. And so it's the kind of partnership that, you know, we want to do more of here at the city. And it was Barry and his team that stretched appropriately in order to try something that we're confident is going to be very successful. So I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of the city of Sacramento, and you know, our state partners are just several blocks away, and more opportunities to work together. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you, and I'd just like to say a couple of things on behalf of our board, and I know many of you have seen me here. I wear an unusual array of hats when I come to see you, and this is another one. So I hope it doesn't seem too schizophrenic. In any case, our board is funded by a little tax that all private sector employers pay in the state that makes money available to training of workers. Hundreds of thousands of workers over the years that our commission has been in business. But the one area that has been most difficult is this transition from school to work. Our society has done a wonderful thing since the Second World War. We made higher education available to a large part of American society when it was completely unavailable before that. First through the GI Bill, through the growth of community colleges. But along the way, something got lost. Because not every kid is ready for college, is going to go to college. But that doesn't make them less valued as a member of our society. And we have we kind of discounted vocational education. We took away opportunities for those kind of kids to know in their lives, early in their lives, that there is great dignity in work, that it's what we do as people. We build, we work, we create. And so what this proposal does, and it's really precedent-making for us, because we're in this training business, is it marries the kid who is in school that we want to keep in school with an employer that makes a commitment to that kid, that if they stay in school, if they do the training specific for a job, that there will be a job for them when they graduate high school. And that hopefully that job will be not just any job, but a job with a career ladder that they can have. Because there is that kid that is sitting there in high school, and he may not be saying a thing, but who loves to cook, that if given the opportunity could be a sous chef or the head chef at a fine restaurant in Sacramento. And there is that kid who is decided that they want to do dance. And they don't know that there is a job out there in dance for them. They don't know how to connect to that job. And that's what we're talking about. And it can be anything from manufacturing to driving to all kinds of jobs, all kinds of careers that can be developed for them. And so we're very excited to partner with the city of Sacramento. We want this to be an amazing success because we want it to be the sort of thing that other cities and other communities in the state of California can embrace. We may run out of money in the process, but you know, it would be a good thing if we ran out of money and changed the whole lives for an entire generation of
Glad we
of
asked
our
first,
kids.
by the way.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And
Barry?
thank the mayor I thank you for your vision for the city council that I think is so obviously caring for this community. And the state government, we're all here too, you know. We live here, we're part of Sacramento. It's this unique place because the state government is here and we're part of this community and you're here and you're part of the state. And it's a kind of, and some of you actually experience what I'm talking about every day. And so we're really lucky in this community to have this kind of energy to put into projects like this. So thank you.
Really nice that you came by, Barry. And I want to introduce you and everybody to Erica Kashiri, who's sitting right there in the second row, who's in her second week at City Hall as our Director of Workforce Development, comes from the National Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C., and is an incredible addition to the city team. And so you'll hear a lot more from Erica over the weeks to come. But now I want you to talk to Barry about next year's grant. Okay? Okay, good. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Very good. I just wanted you to all meet one of our key state partners here. Okay, let's move on to the next presentation, which is recognizing a day in the life of the Summer at City Hall program. Councilmember Chenier, your inspiration? It's all yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, this is a great setup. We've been talking about youth issues for both of the presentations prior, and we'll continue to do that. 6 years ago, we started this program here. We're entering into our 6th year this summer. We have started with 30 young people, and we're now doing 100 every year. It's a fabulous program. We're in the middle of recruitment, and so we wanted to come and do an update. But before we get to the update, I was approached and had a number of discussions probably about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, with Larry Miles and Richard Lonnie, who both do a lot of work, former San Juan school board members, who are now the executive producers of a series on education called Inside California Education. This series, which I believe there's 13 shows this year, plays on KVIE and is then additionally picked up by public TV stations around the state of California. In our discussions about a year ago, they said we'd like to do a segment on summer at City Hall. And so they came out and did some shooting one day, and what we have for you is a short video that will be playing, I believe, tomorrow night on KVIE. So we're giving you, is that correct? I think it's tomorrow.
When it's going to air.
I think it's tomorrow night.
I think evenings at 7:30.
Well,
Yeah, I think
live
it's
on Channel 14 tonight.
Yeah. So we have a
Repeated
preview
Saturday.
for the council on this video, and then I'm going to bring up Christina Pallone, who works for the Neighborhood Service Department, to talk a little bit about where we are, because we're in the process of recruiting. We recruit from all of the high schools in Sacramento, so we want to put that information out to everyone at the dais, so you can, if you know young people who are interested. So let's go ahead and show the video, and then I'm going to say a couple words, and we'll go from there.
Municipal shelter, or open shelter, which means comes in to our doors, we have to accept. At the end of the day, it's about getting animals out of the shelter. It's wet noses out the door, and that's our goal.
11,000 animals pass through here each year, which means that this shelter is always in need of extra help.
When the summer interns at City I don't know where they're getting these kids. By their maturity.
Summer at City Hall sends dozens of teenagers into their room to get hands-on experience working for city departments and government agencies. They consider their own career working in public service.
The program started in Sacramento with 30 kids through a partnership with the city and the school district. And now we have Elk Grove, Yuba City, Oxnard, and Moreno Valley. Cities are attracted to this because they see the need to grow a more diverse workforce, seeing that they're going to have a lot of retirements coming up. And then they're also worried about the level of civic engagement in their communities.
Along with the civics lesson, the teenagers learn what it's like to have a job.
We went over how to act, or like your attitude when you're in the workforce, like rather than being casual as if you would act with your friends, like be more respectable, be more formal.
And we also, they also went over with how we should dress because of the shelter, the animal shelter where we're going to be at, and I actually see myself like actually being able to like help out with like customers, answering phone calls.
The internship is a major component of the Summer at City Hall program, now in its 6th year here in Sacramento. But it wasn't always easy to find work for these teens.
People were kind of hesitant. It's like, I don't know what to do with these kids. And we didn't want just kids coming in doing filing or running around getting coffee, things like that. We wanted these young people to have a real job.
Sacramento City Council member Jay Chenier came up with the concept for Summer at City Hall while he was campaigning for his seat.
I was walking neighborhoods and I would see young people and they would say, "What are you doing here?" And I would say, "Well, I'm running for city council," and they would have no idea what that meant. And so it really brought forth to me the need to do civics education for our young people. And so out of that really hatched the idea for Summer at City Hall.
These are real life skills. I'm not like trying to reduce this down for high school students.
Summer at City Hall kicks off the day with students gathered in the historic chambers of Sacramento's old City Hall to get a lesson in how things really work in government.
People, money, time. Everybody say people, money, time.
City Hall is pretty impressive. You know, just seeing where like the mayor and all legislation happens. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, sitting in the rooms where they actually do the meetings and stuff, and then finding out that there's 2 city halls, not just one.
I think location is really important. I think that anytime you take students outside the classroom and you kind of change the environment, you actually get a different reaction from the kids. And you know, to me, this doing in historic council chambers is like almost the best classroom you can possibly ever have.
It's important that you guys break this up.
It's really is what you want teaching to be. These kids are definitely motivated. They're definitely these are the go-getters of our kids in the city.
Students say they're also motivated by the $300 stipend that they earn at the end of the 7-week program.
that's very important, especially to me. I don't know about you, but my dad's from a low-income family. Like, he's a stereotypical Indian taxi driver, so he's the only person working in my family of 5. I have 2 little brothers, so it's going to be very important considering college and other financial needs that I'll have in the future.
I also agree with her too. I also come from a low-income family too. So I also want to be able to like use the $300 to also help out with like my family and also deal with like school-related things too, because I don't always want to like ask my parents to like pay for my school-related things because I always feel bad that I was have to.
Along with the money, the high school students get free public transit passes to get them to and from their internships each afternoon.
The students do need to, I guess, learn the responsibility of being able to get around the city on their own, teach them about professionalism and being on places on time. We do have at-risk kids here. We do have kids that have financial issues, and the fact that we can support them to get these bus passes so that they don't have to pay for themselves, so they actually are a little more motivated.
You know, we're really not targeting just kind of your straight A students. We really are trying to reach out to young people who otherwise wouldn't have this experience, who are disconnected, who need to be more engaged in their community.
One of the ways the program does that is through service days, cleaning up area parks.
This is McClatchy Park. It's in Oak Park, which is in my district. We want them to understand on the ground what it is. We have our park service workers and our park rangers out here with them. So it's just a good experience for them doing that, knowing it's not all about book learning.
It is hard working outside because we're in the reading area, so we're not in the shade and stuff. So it's like it's getting hot, but we're doing our best, and we're cleaning the community so that when people come here and play in the kid park and stuff, it will be clean for them.
Just overall a better experience for the family here.
Organizers of the summer at City Hall received a state grant to expand this program to another 5 cities in 2017. And they hope to make it statewide by putting together an online toolkit for any city to use.
I want all of my colleagues, all of the city staff to really be reminded every day why they're there, what we need to do for young people. Young people a lot of times get left out of the conversation.
I often think, okay, so here's a young person who may grow up and become rich and famous and remember their fine time with us at the shelter and be philanthropic as they're adults. Or perhaps they'll teach their children about loving and caring, proper loving and caring of animals. You know, it's growing future leaders in the animal world.
As we look towards the future workforce of the city and a need for a diverse workforce, these are the young people that are going to fill that need, and we really need to take care of them.
Internships are modern-day versions of apprenticeships. In the trade guilds of 11th century Europe, an apprentice would work alongside a master craftsman to learn a skill like printmaking. These apprenticeships started around the age of 6.
So I wanted to ask Rick and Larry if you want to say a word about, at least give what you're doing a plug here, and then we'll go to where we are on this summer at City Hall.
Thank you very much, Councilman, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. We really appreciate the opportunity to be with you tonight to celebrate all the good things that are happening in the city. That not only this program, which we were very excited about and appreciated the opportunity to focus on, but also the West Campus thing. It's the celebration in public education is what our show is all about. Of course, that was a tough act to follow, but Rick has volunteered to do a cheer if that would kind of enhance our presentation.
No.
Not necessary. Okay. Please tune in tomorrow on KVIE at 7:30 on Wednesdays when the show is airing. It's also on our website at insidecaled.org. But for those of you who may not be familiar with the program, this show will air throughout the state, from San Diego to Los Angeles to the Bay Area, and elsewhere. We're on every public television station in the state of California, and we're focused on public education and the great programs and best practices that exist there. And we thought that this program was one of those that we wanted to talk about and disseminate to the entire state of California. So congratulations to you for making it all happen and putting it together, and thank you for this opportunity to air this particular program. Thank you,
Thanks
Councilman.
for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So, and we will have, and it's a great show. I recommend that people watch it. There's so much going on with public education now, certainly at the federal level and at the state level, that we all need to be tuned in to what's happening. And it looks like this program will be in 10 cities this coming summer. So that continues to expand. It's a great sell where cities and schools can actually work together. Sometimes our bureaucracies don't quite mesh, but this is one where they've done very well, and Sacramento has really led the way. So I want to bring up Christina Pallone from Neighborhood Services, who's running the program this year, just to talk about where we are and what we need.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, and City Manager Chan. As the video depicts, Summer at City Hall is a critical youth internship program developed by the incredible leadership and partnership of Councilmember Chenier, his team at Way Up Sacramento, the Sacramento Unified School District, Twin Rivers Unified School District, Natomas Unified School District, along with the Neighborhood Services Division team as the lead administrators. A quick synopsis of what we've accomplished so far. In February, NSD hosted 4 info sessions for past and potentially new internship site supervisors from the public sector, specifically government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and our 7 PBID organizations. We formalized our monthly meetings with programmatic partners. The NSD Summer at City Hall staff, along with the Way Up representatives, interviewed and selected 8 Summer at City Hall alumni to become returning youth peer leaders for this year's program. The selected returning youth decided to name themselves Team Titans and are currently undergoing training every 2 weeks here at City Hall on Wednesday evenings to prepare for the upcoming program cycle. On March 1st, the online application for the 2017 Summer City Hall program went live on Neighborhood Services webpage. As of today, we've had 70 applicants and are expecting many more after our Youth Job and Resource Fair, which is this Saturday, April 1st, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here at City Hall. Also at our annual Youth Job Fair, we anticipate attendance of over 750 young people. The Team Titan members, along with our Sacramento Youth Commission, will be both providing support and educating their peers on all of the summer internship opportunities being provided through Neighborhood Services. Also, our very own Parks and Rec colleagues and youth development experts, Kim Moeller and Monica Blanco, will be conducting a Youth Development Institute YDI training for all 8 of our Team Titan members, along with some of the NSD team. For the 2017 Summer at City Hall program, we have a deadline to turn in applications is Friday, April 28th. Applications can be submitted from students attending Sacramento City Unified, Twin Rivers Unified, Natomas Unified, or students living within the city limits. Instructional class begins June 19th and concludes on Thursday, July 27th. Class will be held Monday through Thursday in the morning, 8:30 to noon, with a 42-hour internship in the afternoons. Graduation will be held on Monday, July 31st at the Sac City Unified School District Cerna Center, followed by a reception. Students will be presenting their Project Citizen group project, at City Council on Thursday, August 3rd, as the evening has been dedicated to youth issues and presentations. Students will be receiving additional job readiness training, which will focus on providing additional soft skills to the students to take into the workplace. Internship supervisors are being provided additional training opportunities that will allow them to learn tips and tools on how to engage youth, work plan development, and provide a positive workplace for youth. Activities that interns will participate through the program this year is field trips to the Crocker Art Museum, the Federal Courthouse to observe a court case, the Downtown Library, and a day of service learning at Hagenwood Park. That concludes the status update for this year's program. We in NSD are very excited about this upcoming program year and have worked extraordinarily hard to ensure that all the stakeholders, from the youth, their parents, the program partners, the internship supervisors, all have a positive and impactful experience this summer. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Christina. I also just want to give a shout out to Regional Transit. They're providing free bus passes for all of the young people. Actually, all of the interns that we have, up to 1,000 this summer, will get passes from RT. And Christina, I want to thank you and Chris and Maria from your staff for doing just yeoman's work getting this up and running this year, and we're excited about it. And I know we've all taken interns in our offices. I hope everyone will continue to do that. How are we doing on the internships in the city?
Good. So far, we have 104 commitments.
Okay, and we'll have about 100 kids, so some of those kids will have to do dual internships and do two.
Well, our expanded internship, hashtag SacYouthWorks also.
And I just want to emphasize one piece. We really try to walk the talk. The 8 returning youth are alumni that we've had before. They come in, they learn how to facilitate, and they do a lot of facilitation supporting the teachers. The teachers are certificated teachers. You saw the one gentleman who was speaking is Mr. Washington. He's from Hiram Johnson High School. He's fabulous. He's coming back this year as well. So thanks very much, and happy to answer any questions.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Christina, and thank you, Jay, and your team. I think what you've provided here is not only evidence that you've helped hundreds of young people already, but you've provided the city with a replicable model. And that's the beauty of this, because we're launching this internship initiative, and so we don't have to, start from scratch. You're already doing it. And it's just a matter now of expanding, right, our capacity and in different private sector industries and other public agencies. But thank you for leading the way.
And I just want to add one final note, if I can, because I generally talk to the kids when we start and when we end, and some of you all have accompanied me on that. We have a number of kids every year who say that because of this, they decided they want to come work for the city. And when we talk about our challenges with diversity, and then you look at the kids in our program, that's our future. And so this is really a pipeline for us, and some of the work we're really trying to do with the school districts here and in other places is public service pathways. So this could be a part of something where kids are going through a pathway, get their degree, and then coming into public service. So, Mr. Chan, we're trying to get you a workforce for tomorrow. Thanks very much, Christina.
Love it. Thank you so much, Christina. Appreciate it. Very good. Excellent, excellent. We have one more presentation tonight, and it's recognizing the 2016 California Building Department of the Year Award. And Ryan DeVore, Howard, do you want to make this presentation, please?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I'm pleased and very proud to announce that the city of Sacramento is the recipient of the California Building Officials, or CalBO's, 2016 Building Department of the Year. This is a significant honor in that CalBO represents, and I want to get this right, approximately 95% of the 58 counties and 482 municipalities in California, and recognizes the great work happening in our community development department. So Ryan and Winford are here to officially accept the award. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about the award and then have the presentation made.
Sure. Yeah, I'll introduce Shane from CalBO, a board member from CalBO, in just a second to tell about the award. But I just wanted to say that I didn't realize that we'd be recognizing two state champions tonight. But certainly our team's very excited about the accomplishment. A lot of effort went into it, and like the West Campus girls, only one award is given statewide, and we were lucky enough to receive it for last year's efforts. The organization is an affiliate of the International Code Council, which is a national association. So we're very proud to have received this award. I think it's a result of our innovative programs and customer-centric approach. So with that, I'll introduce Shane Diller, a CalBO board member, to tell a little bit more about the award.
Please, congratulations and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I'm Shane Diller. I'm a member of the CalBO Board of Directors. I'm also the Assistant Director of Development Services in the city of Elk Grove. CalBO is the only statewide advocacy and training organization for the building safety industry. We're also the nation's largest chapter of the International Code Council. Once a year, the CalBO Board of Directors selects and awards the Building Department of the Year Award to an agency that partners well with private industry to see the projects and that our built environment is done safely, but also in a way that projects turn around on time and that the private sector has good, efficient use of building department's services. The City of Sacramento, being this year's 2016-2017 recipient of the Building Department of the Year, set itself apart with its strong commitment to its constituents, giving back to the community, advancements in technology, and the high achievements in educational training they pursued. Their most successful achievement this last year, as you probably know, is the Golden One Center. The LEED Platinum, and LEED Platinum, if you don't know, is the highest energy efficiency rating that a building can receive. Certified building is one of the most innovative, technologically advanced arenas in the country. And the building department here in the city of Sacramento performed many of the in-house plan reviews and field inspections to keep that project moving forward, to keep it on track, and to make sure that it was done in a way that was safe for the attendants that are attending various events now. It's estimated that the city of Sacramento and the Golden One Center itself that the building department worked on has added over 80 ground floor businesses, over 25,000 new jobs, and triggered $530 million in real estate investment in the city of Sacramento, specifically in the downtown core. And the Calvo Board of Directors thinks that that's a monumental achievement for any city. And for one of the cities in California to be able to accomplish that is remarkable. We also wanted to recognize the city of Sacramento's extremely good returns on their customer service. They're rated extremely high in the high 90 percentile on their customer service ratings that they receive as they poll their customers. And we think that that's something that as a building department and we as a board of directors for Calbo really think that building departments should look to use as an example and to spread throughout the state of California to use in other departments.
Thank you.
So at this point, I want to provide Wynn here, your city building official, with this plaque memorializing their award this year.
It's fantastic. It's really great.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you probably know, I was very excited when the award was announced this last week at the conference, and I guess the smile's still permanent on my face. My staff has worked very hard to achieve these goals, and I think there's a few of them here today, and they said they would do a cheer if we wanted them to. So I'm very proud to be part of this team. We exude customer service, and also we are problem solvers. So if there's ever issues with projects, we always try to help the customer out, try to get a resolution. So thank you very much.
Well deserved. Councilmember Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to congratulate you, Winfred, and your whole staff, Ryan, you and the rest of the team. I know how hard the arena was. I talked to you about a lot of different things over the course of the development. I saw Desmond in the back, too. He labored long and hard on that, along with John Dangberg. But I do have to say, I hope that we win again next year because, well, actually, no, it's going to be a couple years because by the time we're done with the mayor's first term, we'll have rebuilt the community center theater. We'll have a new convention center, and we'll have done a rehab on Memorial Auditorium. That complex will be LEED, like titanium, I think is what you said?
Titanium.
LEED titanium, LEED gold or platinum, hopefully, and hit another mark in sustainability, but also phenomenal construction experience. And I know our team, whether it's high-rises, arenas, convention centers, hotels, or just, single-family housing, does a tremendous job. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Councilman Carr?
Yes, Ryan, I want to congratulate you on this accomplishment and your whole staff. When people come to you, they are coming to the city in our regulatory capacity because they can't go anywhere else to get a building permit. And the true measure of the job that we're doing is customer satisfaction. If we have a high level of customer satisfaction, then we know you're doing a lot of other things right. And we know that you're providing the service to people, and they are happy when they walk away from the window. So as a service organization, and that's what we are as a city, we're a service organization. Customer satisfaction has to be our #1 metric, and you have obviously met and exceeded any standard that we would set. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good. Councilmember Ashby?
I just want to add my voice to the chorus of gratitude, too. I'm really hard on Ryan when something goes wrong, so I should be equally nice, right, when things go our way. But I do think we should have your staff stand up, right, so that we could acknowledge them and thank them for their work. I've got just a couple people here. I think so. Yeah. All right, well, that guy won an award for the whole city of Sacramento. Oh, there you go.
That's a lot of work.
That was a lot of work for you. But thank you. You came to the council meeting, and I think it's important to acknowledge that. And Shane, thanks for your organization, for singling out the city of Sacramento. And it's important to us, like Councilmember Carr said. It's an area that we hear about a lot, right? And it's hard. It's a difficult process to get somebody from project idea, which is where we get them often in the council office, to, you know, people inside of a structure in our community enjoying something that we're trying to deliver. And you are our mechanism for achieving that goal. So thank you very much for everything you do to support all of our communities. I appreciate you. And I'm glad to see that your industry peers do as well.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Councilman Harris?
Thank you, Mayor. You guys know I've dealt with you for about 35 years at the counter, and Lord knows you've had your share of complaints, and it's really nice to see you get honored for something that you've done well. So I congratulate you. I think it's a great thing, and it shows that you're really moving forward in creating the department that we want and that provides much better customer service. And I'm getting that feedback a lot from the community now, too. So thank you for your efforts. It's really paying off.
Really worthy and important recognition, you know, because you're right. So often city employees, public servants hear a lot when things don't go well and when there are complaints. And so it's really important that we honor your recognition. People can see that there's always another side, and that serving the public is worthy and important. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh, a quick picture. Why don't you guys come up? You want me to come down? I'll go down. Hold on one second. Want to, Rick, go with the consent calendar? And
yeah, I think we all want to take this picture.
Everybody's talking about consent calendar. When are we going to do the consent calendar?
Well, they're taking a picture. I know.
Hey guys, will you scoot to the right?
Ryan,
Ryan, you guys are off center.
Come on. Say slide, baby.
Are you sure your building officials, you're all off?
Oh my gosh, Jacob, make up. Okay, whatever, who cares?
Okay, this is one. There are others. That's two. Okay. Thank you.
I'm looking for the, you have a cord?
I don't. All right.
All right, good.
okay, let's move to the consent calendar.
Okay.
Are there any items that members want pulled off or discussed? If not, we have one item, one member of the public who wants to testify on.
Right, on item number 1, we have items 1 through 8 on the consent calendar. I have no corrections or additions to read. Mary Tapple is the one who has signed up to speak on item number 1. This is an agreement with Community Link Capital Region to run the 211 Sacramento Referral Service Program.
Hello, Mayor Steinberg, members of the City Council. I support item 1, and I've been interested in housing opportunities, increased housing for unsheltered homeless individuals for some time. In fairly recent years, I have personally donated thousands of dollars to the local Salvation Army for their housing program. And I believe also that behavioral standards showing tolerance and respect for the rights of others is critical to allow such housing to succeed. And I believe our Supervisor Cerna agrees, and wording better than I can ever do. He's made the point that including housing vouchers depends on individuals' cognition, their willingness to exercise self-help at some level. I feel that showing respect for other people is very, very, very required by all people seeking housing. For example, to save the city a whole lot of money and also to impress others that they would treat any such housing and eventual housing vouchers being impressive, being their history being impressive to landlords, landladies' perspective. They could get to cleaning up along our bikeways and along the American River Parkway before the city's city impact team needs to be called, and also within the parkway before the county rangers need to be called to clean up these appalling messes that are a health and safety hazard to everyone and don't allow, in particular, our North Area residents, a lot of whom are homeless themselves but sheltered because they keep their behavior shelterable. They need fair access and environmental justice along our parkways and bikeways, and everybody needs the place, our parkways, not to smell like human fecal matter and not to smell like sewage. And so if housing services providers and some of our service providers could help partner with people currently camping in the parkway, and if they could help them with getting before and after pictures when they decide to clean up an area, that would be really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mary. All right, those are the only moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained. The consent calendar passes on a vote of 9-0. So we have only one item on the agenda, as file item 9 has been continued. Does that take a vote?
I'd like to make a motion on, do we need a?
It's receive and file, you don't need a motion on it, but we do have
sorry.
one speaker on it.
We do have one speaker on file item 9, which is being continued. Mr. Worthy, do you desire to testify on item 9? Okay. Mr. Worthy, good evening.
The questions on this vision of urban jobs. You have no industry here, so what is the jobs? You don't have no industry here. You only have a government here. So what is the industry? So what would be the vision when we can show that there is buyers or hiring in this administration? So what are you really saying about the jobs? I don't know, you all say things here, put things on here, and the vision of it. What is the vision of urban job initiative when you have no industry to produce jobs? You only have entertainment in government. Your jobs come from government. So what are you really saying to the people? Have you been out and showed the people that there is no industry here? Nothing here of the private sector? Tell them the truth. You only here running a bond, grants, and nonprofit organization. You can't have no vision of those things because you can't just sustain yourself. You can't sustain yourself off debt. And this is what's happening in this city. Give the people something to go into business in part of this rental property. Give the public part of the rental property. That's all you got here for income right now, is rental property, which you are really pimping the people about it and not telling them the truth. But some things on the way. We got a train on the way. And that train going to be devastating to what you have showed these people here about this rental property. You are not helping them. You are abusing them. The promo zone. What is the promo zone? That's on the words, people. You need these people to understand that they can own some of this rental property too. But no, the city will not have control if the general public come in. We don't see nothing coming from Del Paso Heights. We don't see nothing coming from South Sacramento. We know what's in around.
Thank you, Mr. Worthy. Time is up. Appreciate it.
Okay, so that item is continued then?
That item is continued, so we now move to the only item on the agenda, which is file item 10.
Temporary Special Projects Manager.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm here to request Council adopt a resolution waiving the 180-day requirement under the Public Employee Pension Reform Act of 2013, that requires retirees to wait 180 days prior to returning to work for a public agency. We are requesting the Council waive the 180 days for Mr. Mark Griffin. He'll retire as the Special Districts Manager from the City of Sacramento on March 31st, 2017. And over the years, he has developed an extensive knowledge of the Sacramento's special district financing. We're requesting that he comes back in order to oversee the city's establishment and update of the development finance plans currently underway in the North Natomas area, specifically the North Natomas Finance Plan, the Greenbrier Finance Plan, and the Panhandle Finance Plan.
All right, thank you very much. Councilmember Ashby, do we have testimony on this?
We have two that have signed up to speak.
Two, okay.
We have Lorraine Brown, excuse me, Lorraine Brown and Mac Worthy.
Ms. Brown?
Well, I think it's good that we have a special projects manager. As a psychologist, I've often criticized the employment HR department for nepotism, which I refer to as the OC Family Advocacy Program. OC meaning Organized Crime Family Advocacy Program, because it seems like there's been a conflict of interest and too much covering each other's misconduct. We cannot sustain ourselves on aerospace, aerodynamics, cyber, warlords and drug lords. It is as I've mentioned earlier, in the past 5 years since I've been coming here, it is a defeating proposition to say we're just in the service industry with no real manufacturing. We have retailers closing, shopping centers closing, including K Street, where you put in the Golden One, wondering if we're going to get back our shopping center, we're going to get back our service industry, our retailers. It's shameful what's going on and nothing to be proud of. And it's raping our populace, our people. You're not serving our people. You know that, we know it, and it's happened in other countries. It's happening here. You need to listen to the people instead of patting each other on the back saying, good job. We're not talking about money. You're stealing the money from the people. It's called extortion, what's going on. Thank you. And discrimination, because we can't participate after you stole all our property and our industry.
Ackworthy?
That's what we talk about when we talk about industry. What is a special temporary project manager? Temporary or something, you already know who's going to be temporary. How many people applied for the job? That's what the public should be interested in. How many people applied for the job? And what is the temporary? You're only working within the government. So when you got some extra money, you said you had $18 million surplus. This is how you're going to spend the money? You got something temporary? Well, the arena was temporary. Where's the people that over there that went over there as apprentices? Where's they on their job? Do you follow them up? Wake up, people. It's time to understand and quit lying to the public. You can't keep lying, people. These things don't sustain people. You need people here to have jobs to pay into Social Security and retirement. And you ain't got doing nothing for those people. You're bringing people back for jobs that have retired. That's not helping the city. That's patting the back of your partner. That's what that's doing. Wake up. This thing, put it on now. Talk about what it's going to be and how many people applied for it. Did it one in every district apply for it? Or you already got it out from your virus of hiring?
Councilmember Ashby?
Thank you, Mayor. This item is critically important to my district, and I want to thank the HR department and the finance department for coming up with this solution. And I want to move the item. And I want to thank publicly Mr. Griffin, because I know that your family, and for personal reasons and of your own, your family wanted you to retire. But there are some people in the city that walk into your office and tell you that they're going to retire. And you can't live with it. And he has knowledge specific to my district that there is no one else in Sacramento that has that knowledge. The only person to ever do it before him worked for the city. Scott Mindy passed away. And Greg Bitter moved on to another agency, as did David Kwong, who had pieces of the knowledge. Mark is the only person remaining who can see this through for the 60-some thousand constituents who pay into finance plan funds as part of their property tax. That needs to be seen through for them so that they don't pay it anymore, and so that the development can continue and we can continue to provide housing, apartment complexes, condos, places for people to live. So I want to personally thank Mark, because I know this contract allows you to not have to work as much and relieves you of some of the duties, but that you have continued on with a bit of a commitment to the city of Sacramento. I know it's a little beyond what your family wanted you to do, but I am very grateful, as is my district. So thank you to you and your family for your sacrifice. Move the item, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Ashby. Councilmember Harris.
So I'd like to second that, Mayor. I've worked with Mark for quite a while, actually. A lot of people don't know that he was instrumental in forming the initial proposition for Measure U, working with the Parks Commission and an ad hoc committee. He is so financially astute about finance districts that I agree with you, Councilmember Ashby, that if ever there was a person worth waiving the 180-day wait period for, it's Mark Griffin. So, Mark, thank you for being willing to stick around, and I need to talk to you tomorrow. All right, thank you very much.
Very good, thank you. Very good. So there's a motion and a second. There's no other member up to speak. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstain. The measure passes 9-0. Thank you very much. Welcome back to work. Appreciate it. All right, we now move to public comment. But before we do, I want to make a brief comment myself about last week. I want to apologize to several members of the public for cutting you off. It was rude, and I'm sorry. I ask for decorum in this chamber, rightfully so, and I think it's always important to set an example. And I always try and endeavor to, and think I have most of the time, but last week I didn't. I vehemently disagree with some of the comments that were made last week. In fact, I found them reprehensible, especially calling law enforcement officers murderers and other such statements. And while I find the comments reprehensible, I will fight to uphold your right to speak freely, whatever your point of view is. So I just wanted to say that I apologize for cutting a few people off last week. That was not right. Let's move on.
Okay, so we're now to public comment for this evening. There is 13 that have signed up to speak. We'll call 3 at a time, as is our normal practice. We'll start with Wallace. I'm sorry, I can't read it, but it looks like Faw. Then there's Trina Allen, Eric Frame, and then Braden Murphy. Is Wallace here? I don't see Wallace.
Okay.
Trina?
Regardless of how this council spins it, Sacramento PD killed 2 black men experiencing mental health issues last year. Dejan Flano and Joseph Mann were murdered. Your police officer joked with a community member about beating Dejan with a bat prior to him committing any crime. Your police officer attempted to hit Joseph with his vehicle as he posed no immediate threat and laughed about gunning him down. We want the video, all of it. Every last second, because we don't trust SAC PD to hold their own accountable. No officer has been indicted, not one. We urged the previous council to provide us with an OPSA and a community police commission that held investigative and disciplinary power. We were instead handed a lackluster video ordinance, and they didn't even follow that. We got 4 hours and 20 minutes of the 6+ hours our current police chief reported last week. So where are those 100 minutes? More importantly, what happened in them? So you need to indict your people, or we will. You want a police force that is respected and trusted by the public, and you've said this individually and collectively many times. But you will not reap such a regard from the people until you've sown the seeds of accountability. Every one of your officers will have body cameras in the next few months, every one. The precedent you set here will determine the legitimacy of your oversight. Redact faces, fine. Redact minutes of video or audio, and you will find yourself swarmed by the people demanding answers. Armani's life matters. Whether or not that makes our police department's job harder, and because we can't trust them in a word or deed, we want to see it for ourselves. As an abolitionist, I would rather spend my time building community networks that actually serve and protect, but I still have every right to be here. We are not irritants that you need to contend with. We are your people. This is our house, not your bully pulpit.
Eric Frame. Is Eric here? And then Braden Murphy, and then Jessica Murphy.
Hello, thanks for having me. Here we go. I'm going to talk about priorities again. About half the people in this room were sitting down during the anthem. I think we should hear from them first from now on, and maybe have some kids around to learn a few things about what's really going on instead of shooting them out after we congratulate them for their basketball sport. So that's just one idea. I'm kind of winging it here, so I'm just going to use this 130 if you don't mind. I've got a lot of problems. I sat because, well, my mother was killed with chemotherapy, so that's why I sit. We need real alternative medicine, the stuff that's hidden from us, and I'm pretty sure, well, maybe some of you guys know it, but alternative medicine, that would be nice. Let's set that up. Some, got 1 minute left. Sorry, I should have prepared more for this one, but let's see. Black Lives Matter. I shouldn't have to try and wake the police myself, but I'll keep doing it because they're part of the 99%, and so are you guys, maybe. Love revolution, everyone. Goodbye.
Braden?
All right, I got to jam 2 important topics into 2 minutes, so I'll try to talk fast and see if I can get it all in. First thing is, I want to start completely differently than I did last time and say thanks to Mrs. Ashby for immediately standing up and supporting Warren's 10-city plan to actually help homeless people right away. So that's really good, and it's really too bad that we didn't see more people immediately standing up. I'd like to thank the mayor for apologizing for his horrendous behavior in the last meeting. I think that's a good start. And I'd like to point out not only the Black Lives Matter people, but homeless advocates that are not here tonight to stand up for the homeless, because it seemed to them that you were trying to cut a deal with them, that you may or may not, maybe you will, support Mr. Warren if the homeless advocates no longer bring up the camping ordinance. And so I find it sad that 10 of my friends are not here tonight to speak their mind in hopes that something positive will happen for the homeless. And I find that to be a disaster. With the Black Lives Matter, when we're talking about shootings that are going on, and people are passionate, people are losing family members, people are going to use the word murder if that's how they feel that that's what happened. And to cut them off, to tell them to not talk and you're going to handle it in a certain way, they can't use these words, they can't use others, that is just horrendous. But at least you've apologized for that, and I'll give you credit for that. And I want to remind everybody, and I want to remind the council, and I want to remind Mr. Steinberg, that the best thing he ever did on this dais was in the 1990s when he sat in Mr. Gare's seat and he voted against the camping ordinance, and he said in his comments that it's because it's inhumane and he doesn't want the homeless to feel criminalized. That is still the situation. It is still inhumane. He also told the press that if asked to end the camping ordinance, if it was pressed for a vote, he would support it. Mr. Warren's giving you a better solution. He wants to help people in a safer, better way, so at least support him on that, like you told the public you would do when you campaigned on the backs of the homeless. Thank you.
Jessica. Following Jessica is Timothy Davis and Lorraine Brown.
First off, I want to back up my husband, and I completely agree with every word he just said. And my thing right now is that I've been here since December, and I've not done a public comment. And so my thing is on the public comment when the people speak, not including the mayor, which I appreciate you apologizing, but the council, please be respectful to the public when they are speaking. It is very frustrating to watch as I sit back there when council members and the mayor are not being respectful to the public speaking. So this is why I want to remind you is that everyone is watching you guys and everyone wants basic human dignity. And when people are up here speaking, please be respectful to them as they only get 2 minutes to speak, and everyone in the council, I feel, has been respectful, and it's really frustrating to watch the council members and the mayor disrespect the public talking. So please, as a reminder on public comment, please be respectful when the public is speaking. Thank you.
Good evening, Tim.
Good evening. In a conversation I had with a council member last week, I was encouraged to be more grateful towards the council for their support of police officers. This conversation caused me to reflect on the meaning of the word support. Often I hear council members use the word support when I think they really mean the word respect. I believe each and every member of this council respects the police officers that serve this community. Council members have shown their respect to officers on many occasions by attending police department roll calls, by attending retirement ceremonies, recognizing officers for their heroism, and achieving and recognizing the fine caliber of employees we have in Sacramento. Support, on the other hand, means to give assistance to someone or to make someone's burden lighter. The council's support of its police officers has been intermittent. Recently, the council has approved bonuses.
Going to maintain decorum in the chamber. The gentleman is speaking, please.
Recently, the council approved bonuses for police officers in an effort to stem a mass exodus of officers, and I'm here to thank you for that. But I'm also here to point out that the reason for the need for the bonuses to stem an exodus was the actions of John Shirey, who under the council's direction successfully pushed through police officer pay cuts. Also, while members of the council have individually expressed a need to involve the association in discussions on how to chart the city's path through transparency, often the council's decisions have been made without including the legitimate concerns of police officers. We have a great opportunity ahead of us in which we will shape the direction of the police department over the next few decades. We all have a significant interest in creating a police department that is both trusted by the community and which values and retains its employees. I am standing before you willing to work with you to find a solution that will help all of us achieve our goals and our vision for this department. Please allow me to work with you as we chart the future of our department together.
Appreciate you coming, Tim. Thank you.
Hey, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Following Lorraine is Nikki Jones and then Carly Brannon.
As a psychologist, I feel compelled to speak out because of the outrageous rhetoric, which is false speech, being circulated. It appears that there are some people that are invested in relaxing our rule of law. One of our rule of law is that we have freedom of speech, so we don't judge someone's comments, we judge their conduct. However, things are upside down, it appears. We're judging comments and not conduct. I, for one, as Mayor Darrell Steinberg is aware, was falsely arrested many times because I tried to report a crime, and I hope that that has since ceased, Mayor Steinberg, that that won't happen again. I hope I have your word. I know that Mayor Kevin Johnson, under his leadership, that would never happen. I'm hoping that you are true to what had the precedence that's been set. But I speak out at the risk of retaliation. What appears to me as a psychologist looking at things globally and being very well trained and being in this country for many generations, UN imperialism passing off as globalism seems to be at play here. And that means deinstitutionalization means a destruction of our way of life, our heritage, our rule of law. It means nihilism, which has happened all over the world, and we are opposed to that. And that's in violation of our 14th Amendment. And anyone that dares to speak out against our people, our rights, and against protecting our property, our industry, our business people, our tax base, our populace, is in jeopardy of violating very serious federal laws. Thank you.
Thank you for testifying.
Nikki?
Those highly esteemed by this dais as public servants, Officers John Tennis and Randy Lazoya, took aim at Joseph Mann as they said, "Fuck this guy, I'm going to hit him." While other officers were safely talking to Joseph, they attempted to end his life with their vehicle. That's with at least 2 weeks of police academy driver training, 8 hours of de-escalation, and obviously more influential years of experience with SAC PD. They exited their car, and reason being that he was close enough to a bystander to cause harm. Keep in mind, he fled from their vehicle to this location. They fired 18 shots and shredded the body of someone's brother, someone's son, of someone. One wonders who put the bystander at real risk. Speaking of bystanders, how about when Officer Eric Fong told one that Dejan Flano, after they had trapped and taunted him, was just a nut, a tweaker, and to hit him with a baseball bat to mellow him out? Does that sound like the professional steward of public safety we continue to insist the police are? Or does that sound like a bully with a badge inciting vigilante violence in our community? It was not hard for Dejan's mother to know upon hearing that even at that early stage in the interactions, the officers had no intention or incentive to not kill her son. Qualified immunity, they say, they being D.A. Schubert. Public servants, they say, they being our mayor. Entrenched genocidal white supremacy, we say. Patriarchal overreach and degradation of life, we say. A guilty system, we say. And we will continue to say, despite any paternalistic shushes from police apologists in the room, expect white fragility, entitlement, supremacy to be challenged. If you feel offended and annoyed that historically marginalized communities are passionately fighting, even you, for their liberation from oppressors, for human rights, and plainly speaking, for the police force not to engage in racist classist enforcement and brutality, perhaps ask yourself before your next reactionary response if this is where you want to be found in the power analysis of history.
Thank you, Nikki. Your time.
Silencing activists to defend unmistakably killer cops, we expect them to lose their jobs.
Your time is up.
Carly Brannon.
All three at a time, please.
Carly Brannon is next. Attorney Mark Harris, and then Mac Worthy, and then Mary Tapple.
Giving the police department extra time to release the videos that they did not start watching until, 2 days before they came in here, which was well beyond the 30-day period in which they were supposed to release the videos. But giving them that additional time and not setting expectations around the date that needed to be completed is not accountability. Saying that you denied the waiver when you gave them unlimited time for those videos is not transparency. I know that you guys are tired of hearing from us, but all you have to do is act right.
Mark?
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, last thing I wanted to do is to be here this evening talking about this issue. The comments that were just made were right on point. I completely align myself with what the previous speaker just said. We have a lawbreaker, and his name is Brian Louie. He's right here, so I'm not saying anything that, Chief, you can't hear me say directly to you. There was no lack of clarity in what the ordinance called for. Councilmember Carr talked about customer satisfaction. I'm not very satisfied as a citizen of the city of Sacramento right now. In the California Government Code, it points out that if you violate an ordinance under 36900 and 36901, you either get charged with a misdemeanor or an infraction. Which one is it for Chief Louie? He was 3 weeks late in turning this in. The language was not ambiguous. It called for 30 days. As the previous speaker just said, he was 2 weeks late when he got here. He was another 1 week late in turning it in just on yesterday. That's 3 weeks by my count. We had people, including a council member Ashby, and we had council member Carr and council member Warren expressing their frustration, but there has to be teeth and substance put into an ordinance in order for it to have its full effect. So I say to you that there was a violation of law. You've got a city attorney here who's paid quite a bit of money in the six figures to be able to give his opinion. I would seek his opinion about what the penalty should be, both for this instance and for any subsequent instance, if we had lead the Law Enforcement Accountability Directive and Black Lives Matter and other organizations need to sit down with you and continue to work with this. Happy to do it. But this one's unclear and unambiguous. It was shameful, this violation, first time out the box.
People, when I speak of bias of hiring, that's just what happened. If you're in a district and you retire, a city council can appoint you to a management job. That's pitiful, isn't it? You're talking about violation of law. That should be critical in violation of law. This is a government, not a partnership of a city council and a resident. But we want to move on. We're over to Scott Jones, and Mayor, you talk too much. Every time you open your mouth, you put your foot in your mouth. When anybody that takes an oath refuse to obey federal law, I'm going to help put you in jail. I know where the snakes hide here. I've been here. Just as the police department come out and say, help us solve this crime, I'm going to help Scott and ICE solve many crimes. And ask them, if you took an oath, that's from the police department to the governor, and you hired a person, you shall go to jail and be tried under a felony act. What happened here with this young man here, that was a disgrace. You have no police account. If you take a case to court and ask for time, you'll get time. He made some mistakes of going to the city manager when he shouldn't have went to the city manager. The city manager cannot manage the police department. And these are the things where you make your mistakes at. You may say things here that the guy sit there, you wanted him to open up on something, and you know you can't open up on those things when you're under investigation. Tell the people the truth. Transparency is a critical issue when you got a case pending. Tell the people. Those people went to Berkeley. Why didn't this man ask this man what was the block and oversight? He wait till he get back and spend the money on a trip down there, and these people are upset. These people are upset over it because it started here.
Time is up, Mr. Worthy.
Deal with the truth, people here, with the police department.
Thank you, Mr.
The police
Worthy.
department shall have the
Time
right
is
to
up.
enforce the law.
We have two speakers left, Mary Tapple. The last speaker is Chris, and I can't read it if it's legend or legal.
Hello, Mayor Steinberg, members of the City Council. I have some additional things to bring up regarding continued safety needs and public sanitation needs, public health and environmental justice needs for an awful lot of our population and our visitors, including a whole lot of young people of color of the North Sacramento area. And I and my husband helped fund this bicycle provision. You'll see a very happy to hear all the council support for young people. Here's not Mayor, excuse me, City Councilman Warren. This was 2.5 years ago. It happened the same day. It actually was taking place exactly when whatever was happening in Ferguson was happening. And this is another shot. We've always, in cleaning up the parkway and cleaning up the bikeways, we've always got really good support, which we really need from the Sacramento Police Department. And here's another shot of the kids. And we are making the point, Daniel Savalas of Councilman Warren's district spoke really well about all the interconnected parkways and bikeways, and that this North Sacramento bikeway here that the kids were helping clean up is connected directly to the American River bikeway, and it's a really good resource. And also trying to get more people and including illegal campers using the American River Parkway. This isn't, I've got copies for the council, but all of these words that are here underlined and in bold were words that my assistant, who was a young man with challenges of his own, when we were doing a outreach together at Sacramento Loaves and Fishes, these were the words that were on the bulletin board as what everybody universally wants.
Mary, thank you very much. Your time is up. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Chris?
Good evening, Mayor and distinguished council members. My name is Chris Legal. I'm new to the community. I'm here temporarily. I was going to speak on item number 1, but apparently the clerk said I didn't get my request in before you started the proceeding, so I'm speaking on public comment. I'm taken back by all the emotions and the facts that have been revealed to this body, including myself. I'm new to the politics of Sacramento and to what goes on. But I will say that I am concerned and I'm impressed with how you're handling it and how you're able to sort through the issues and deal with them. I read the SNR, the Sacramento News Review, where there's a great editorial by our chief, Scott Jones, and I'm reserving judgment until I get a counterbalance, a view from maybe one of the council peoples here. But it seems like he's advocating that the chief of police in Sacramento be elected and not appointed by the city council, so that the people have control over the police chief and not the city council, which in some ways makes the chief of police subservient to you and your wishes as opposed to the will of the people and the law. That's only a proposition. Some cities do it the same way, as some cities elect their officials. Now, Sheriff Jones is elected, so he can afford to speak to you without any jeopardy. But he may not speak the same way to the board of supervisors because they are his boss in theory, along with the people. So maybe the suggestion of having the mayor consider with the city council having the police chief elected as opposed to appointed would be a charter amendment.
We take a charter amendment.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir, for testifying. All right, that is the public testimony for this evening. Are there council ideas and questions before we go into an executive session? Councilmember Harris.
Thanks again, Mayor. A couple of announcements. Tomorrow, El Hogar, which is a mental health services provider in the River District, is having a guest house clinic and connection lounge open house. That's tomorrow, March 29th at 600 Burcutt Drive from 3 till 5:30. I'd also like to announce that Saturday, April 8th from 9 till noon, I'll be leading a Glen Hall Park cleanup day. We're we're well into our 7th year of cleaning up our local park, and if you'd like to volunteer, get a hold of me. It's from 9 till noon, April 8th.
Thank you. Councilman Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have one item for the lawn ledge log follow-up. There have been some efforts in other cities to make sure that we manage our bike share programs well, and one of the concerns that's come up is about unpermitted bike share systems operating in the city. San Francisco recently passed an ordinance to regulate unpermitted bike share companies, and I think we should also investigate the same thing so that we don't have unpermitted bike share operating in the city of Sacramento. I would also like to announce that we have our District 4 egg hunts coming up. We've got several really fun ones. The William Land Park one will be Saturday, April 1st from 9 to 11. One of the fun parts of that is the hat parade. Any of you who have young ones who want to come up with some festive hats, please come and compete. Southside Park, April 8th from the 9th, from 9 a.m. to 11, and then Orchard Park in River Oaks on Saturday, April 8th as well from 1:30 to 3:30. Fun and games. Also, we'll have Mr. Cottontail hopping about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. My Sister's Keepers Financial Literacy Boot Camp is going to be on Saturday, April 1st, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the George Sims Community Center. This is the National Coalition of 100 Black Women chapter is presenting a free workshop on basic money management, investing for the future, and real estate today. So for more information, give our office a call. Breakfast and lunch will be provided. So that's on April 1st, again, 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. at the George Sims Center. Also, we're going to have a mobile district office over at the Fruit Ridge Manor neighborhood in partnership with also our Fruit Ridge Manor Neighborhood Association. And we're going to do it on Saturday, April 15th, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Bel Air on Fruit Ridge Road. Good old sidewalk tabling there. Then also, we're going to have our egg extravaganza, our District 6 egg extravaganza on Saturday, April 15th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the George Sims Community Center. This is in partnership with the Avondale Glen Elder Neighborhood Association, the Southeast Village Neighborhood Association, who are our hosts. And so we'll have a lot of fun out there for all the youth. With that, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I do wanted to also say a personal thank you to our council members for your support with the community today at the forum that the sheriff had put on today.
Thank you, Eric. Vice Mayor Jennings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This Saturday, again, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This Saturday, April the 1st, if you're looking for a good, healthy exercise program, in District 7, we have Walk with Friends, 9 o'clock at the Mesa Grande Park and at 9:30 at the Valley High Park. The event is free and open to the entire community. After walking, running, riding your bike, whatever, you get together and introduce yourselves to each other, exercise, and participate in different other events that are taking place as well, like dance contests, etc. Also, fresh produce is handed out to all participants every time that you participate. So it's a way to eat healthy, walk and get healthy, and we encourage you to participate.
Excellent. Councilmember Chenier.
Mayor, two things, and then I want to see if I can come back. I have an adjourn in memory. If we could do that, I know we'll be going to recess. First, tomorrow night, Southland Park is having its annual meeting, 6:30 at Pony Express Elementary School, for people who'd like to attend. I have a AB 1234 report. A few weeks ago, actually, Supervisor Patrick Kennedy and I visited Portland and visited the Portland Mercado, which is a revitalization effort that has gone on in Portland. And Patrick and I started looking at sites along Franklin Boulevard this morning that we would like to see if we can replicate the success of the Mercado in Portland. It's a great thing, and Franklin Boulevard seems like a really perfect place for it. So we'll be coming back, and when we get an update on the funding that we put aside for economic development in the corridors for the council districts, that's the project that I would like to promote for District 5 in that. So I know your staff is working on some protocols on that. I look forward to that. And then again, I'd like to come back on a adjourn in memory.
Of course. Councilmember Ashby.
Thanks, Mayor. I believe this is agendized, but I just want to make sure. I know it is something you're passionate about, Mayor. But for the clerk and yourself and the city manager, our next council meeting, next Tuesday, April 4th, happens on Pay Equity Day, which means that is the day in the year that, on average, most women have to work. That's how many additional days in a year they have to work to earn what the average male would have made in the previous year. So we're going to celebrate that at council. And by celebrate, I mean I'm going to come back with an audit that I promised on gender equity and diversity of our committees and commissions, and next steps on our parity efforts that we all committed to as a body, unanimously, of course, moving forward with pay equity. So I just want to make sure that we carve out enough time next week, Mayor and City Manager and Clerk, to have a robust discussion on the importance of pay equity and what that day means to the average woman in the United States of America and in Sacramento, and the things that we're doing to address it here.
We'll look forward to that.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you. There's Councilmember Warren. Okay. The council is going to recess now in, I'm sorry, adjourn in memory. Councilmember Chenier has an adjourn in memory.
Thank you, Mayor. So as I'm sure you all know, we had a really horrific tragedy last week in Southland Park with the murder of an entire family, the Vasquez family, 2 children, a niece, and a wife. I first want to thank the Neighborhood Association in Southland Park, Brian Ebbard, and the entire board. They contacted us and said they would like to do something in the neighborhood. And again, this is a place where I think when bad things happen in Sacramento, people step up. And they certainly did, and they asked for some help to put together a vigil, which we did on Saturday night. And Mayor, I want to thank you for coming, and also Councilmember Guerra and Supervisor Kennedy was there as well. Again, a horrific thing anytime. The crime was horrible, and 2 young people, 11 and 13-year-old, their lives taken from them at this time. It's hard to imagine. So I just want to, again, thank the community for stepping up. I think it was a first step in their own healing as they move forward, and want to adjourn in the family's memory.
Of course, very appropriate and unspeakable. All right, I'm told that we will now adjourn this meeting and go into executive session. Thank you to the public. Please read the agenda, and then we'll
Okay, so
bang
the
the gavel.
special meeting agenda for the purposes of closed session have 2 items for discussion. One is a matter pertaining to pending litigation, and there are 2 pertaining to the appointment of the city treasurer. Thank you.
All right, we won't be reporting out until next Tuesday, I believe. Okay, very good. We're adjourned. Thank you.